Alright guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video, I want to try something a little different. I know I do a lot of tech reviews and a lot of headphone reviews, but what I've learned is a lot of people don't actually show what it is they use on an everyday basis. So I'm going to show you some of the tech that I use, the ones that were so good, or at least such a great value, that I decided to keep, and that I decided to use in everyday use. Okay, first off we're going to start with my phone. It is the Sony Xperia Z Ultra and it's in black. And it's also available in white, but I chose the black because I like the very sleek look. It is glass on the front and back, so it is very prone to scratches. It has a huge 6.4 inch display. It runs a 2.2 gigahertz quad-core processor, an 8 megapixel rear camera, and a 2 megapixel front camera. Now the cameras on this phone are absolutely awful, but I'm not one to usually take pictures with my camera, so that wasn't a big deal. It is completely waterproof. You can take it outside and you don't have to worry if it gets wet, if it's in the rain. You could submerge it into water, although I don't necessarily have the balls to do that. It also has one of the most beautiful screens I've ever seen, so watching movies and videos on this is second to none. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to my computer. Now this is going to surprise many because I use the Alienware Alpha, and I don't even use the high-end model. I use the one that has the Intel dual-core i3 processor. Now it did come with 4 gigs of RAM, and I upped it to 8 gigs of RAM because of the multitasking that I do on this computer. It runs Windows 10, has a 500 gig hard drive, and I do all of my PC gaming, video editing, photo editing, graphic design stuff, everything on this small desktop computer. It has been one of my go-to devices. I've had it for over a year and I wouldn't trade it for anything. It also came with an Xbox 360 wireless controller so that you're able to open it up and get straight into gaming. Now it did not come with a monitor, so that was something that you do have to add to pick it up. And you can easily find it now for about $400, but definitely between $400 and $500. So when you weigh out the options of what a console costs, you can get a full-blown PC and a gaming system for about the same price or a little more than one of the modern day consoles. It does have the lighting on the front that you're able to change out, so the alien head and the corner lighting can change to whatever you want. Okay, now this was the biggest surprise to me, and it is my Moto 360 smartwatch. It runs Android Wear. It looks more like a watch than most smartwatches do, so that's what drew me to this one. It comes with a wireless charging dock, so all you have to do, or all I do at night when I go to bed, is sit it on this charging dock, and then it just charges it overnight, and it will last a full day, no problem. It allows me to check my text, my email, any notifications that come through. I can easily browse to see what the weather's going to be like. I can go and skip all my music on Spotify from my watch. And there's tons of watch faces to choose from because of Android Wear. So I highly recommend the Moto 360. Okay, the next one on the list is my PlayStation Vita. Now, as much as Sony dropped the ball on this system, it's still easily my favorite portable gaming device ever. This is the newer Vita Slim. This one allows you to charge it with the micro USB cable and not the proprietary cable that came with the original. It does come with 1 gigabyte of memory built in, which is a huge plus, but really doesn't do you any good. So you have to buy the overpriced Vita memory cards, which is a downfall for this system. There's tons of games, not necessarily Vita specific games, but because of PlayStation Now, you're able to play a back catalog of PS3 games. It also has PS4 connectivity, so with having a PlayStation 4, I can remote play onto the PS Vita, so I'm not tied into a TV. This model has the LCD screen as to where the original had the OLED screen. The battery life is better on the Slim model because of the screen, and I prefer it over the original due to it being a slimmer. It feels better in the hands, and overall just felt like a more well put together system. Okay, now that leads into my PlayStation 4. Now this is the 500 gigabyte model, which is kind of the base model. It came with the DualShock 4 controller, which I think is one of the best controllers ever made. I am a Sony fan, and so that kind of ties into why I'm a PlayStation
nut altogether. So I have the Vita. So of course, having the PS4 is a necessity with that. The PS4 gives you a ton of streaming options as far as movies. I use Plex, which is an app that I download movies onto the computer, and it allows me to see them on my PlayStation 4. So I like the connectivity I have there. I'm also a PlayStation Plus subscriber and a PlayStation Now subscriber. So I have access to a ton of PlayStation 3 games. There's tons of PlayStation 4 games out there. And I think where the system is at now is in a good place where you can't really run out of things to do. And the streaming services such as Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and all that are offered on here as well. So it's more or less a big media hub as well. It's come a long way and it's had a ton of updates since it first came out. So I highly recommend the PlayStation 4. And just look at it. It's pretty. And again, to tie into the whole Sony universe, we're going to go into the headphones that I use. Now, I normally review headphones on the channel, so you kind of get an array of my taste of everything. But to be honest, the Sony Pulse Elite are some of the best headphones you can find, especially if you're a bass head. These work wirelessly and give you 7.1 surround sound. That's awesome for gaming, it's incredible for movies, and overall, it's hard to beat. The bass impact slider is what I like the most. You can adjust how much bass you want, and actually it's bass you feel. These things rattle the hell out of your head, which gives you more of an impact on explosions and bass in certain songs that there's no way really to describe. You can turn it all the way up, and you can end up with a migraine. It's that strong. They have built-in modes such as game mode, music mode, movie mode, so it kind of has these adjustments built in. But what the beauty of this is you have an app on the PlayStation 4, you can equalize the headphones the way you want them to be. You can adjust for certain games, certain movies, and it just opens up everything, and I think Sony did an incredible job with these. Now, the only drawback I will say with these are comfort can get a little bit heavy after a while. These do have some weight to them, and they didn't do a good job with padding on the top. But that's not a big enough knock for me to not own these incredible headphones. Okay, the last device on my list is my Bluetooth speaker, and it is massive. It's the TDK Trek Max A34. It's rugged and it's weatherized, so it's able to kind of handle any weather conditions so that you can use it outside. It's weather resistant, not weatherproof, so don't go throwing it in a pool. The battery life allows for 8 hours of audio. It has dynamic audio performance that allows no distortion, and you're able to turn it up to extremely loud volumes. It has 2 full range drivers and a subwoofer in the back. So when placed correctly, you can really feel the shaking of this speaker. So it's actually able to handle all genres of music, and it handles it well. The one big plus also about this speaker is it has a USB port, so you're able to plug in your phone or whatever device and it'll charge it as well. It is massive and all your controls are at the top, so it's maybe not something that's extremely portable, but it is able to be thrown in my bag and I will take it wherever I go.
Alright guys, so I hope this video was helpful in at least showing you and answering some of the questions as to what do I use every day. I do get questions about with headphones, Bluetooth speaker, gaming stuff that I use, and this was the best way to just answer all those questions all at once. Thank you so much for all the support, and as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.